Welcome back to another edition of Trainwreck Tuesday. I am your host, definitely not Lucas Bancroft, back with you once again for the show all about triumph and tragedy. We had one of the most exciting weeks, if not the most exciting week to date, this Sunday, Monday, and we are excited to get into the action! Okay, so up first we have a matchup between 50 Shades of May and head coach Lucas Bancroft going up against Metcalf and Cheese head coach Chef Corey. 50 Shades of May winning this one 132 to 127 in a game that came down to Monday night. Very close for comfort behind Travis Kelce with a touchdown and a few catches to boot, putting up 27. However, 50 Shades of May rolling two in a row, now styling themselves the slayer of the chefs after taking down Chef Ryan and Chef Corey this week. Great performances behind Stephon Diggs as well as Rashad White and Jake Ferguson. On the other side of the ball, a solid performance from Metcalf and Cheese, and had a lot of bye weeks for him, but that awful DeMercado fumble costing him the game here. Let's see if Chef Corey can get back on track on that steak belt campaign next week. Alright, next up you have the Commish going up against the Hard Aries, and the luckiest team in fantasy football continues to get luckier and luckier as the Hard Aries win this one 128 to 125, despite having starting running back on a bye week. Great job, super good at this. Awesome. Unfortunately, the Commish now losing two fluke losses. He should be undefeated, but losing to a man not starting a quarterback and a man not starting a running back. Nonetheless, a very close game, but for the Hard Aries, we're not even going to really cover them because just set your lineup. Now, the Commish should have got this done. Solid performances all around, but Kushad Jenkins and their special teams got to iron those out. -2 points again by Baltimore. Might want to look on the waiver wires for a better defense. Nonetheless, the Commish in 5th place. Hard Aries moved to 2nd. I don't know how, but that's fantasy. Whatever. Next up, you have Like a Good Neighbor against Chef Ryan's Rad Team, and listen to this, folks. A final score of 124.6 to 124.56. You heard that right. 0.04 point differential. Like a Good Neighbor winning this one on the back of great performances from Dak Prescott and that last-minute catch from Hollywood Brown. 8.8 points from him, but enough points to get it done. Darren Waller balling out now. Like a Good Neighbor, who thought he could be dead in the water, moves to 11th place at 2-3. Chef Ryan's Rad Team back-to-back losses going to 3-2 in 6th place, still in the hunt. And a solid performances by many players, but Derrick Henry in that Baltimore offense is reeling. Only 9 points out of him. Other than that, a solid performance. We'll see if Chef Ryan can iron some things out in the lineup next week and get out of this losing streak. We don't want to see Chef Ryan's not-so-rad team after all. Alright, now Miso Brady, the undefeated squad, going up against 2 scoops of brown. Miso Brady winning this one 104 to 94. Surviving a brutal week of byes for Miso Brady and continuing to stay undefeated on the back of Josh Allen, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Tony Pollard, and a lot of folks in double digits. Unfortunately, Blake Corum had to give him the spot start there. Only 13 yards for him. Nonetheless, Miso Brady able to take down 2 scoops of brown. Some underperformers, Trevion Henderson with only 5 yards. You wonder when the Patriots are going to start to utilize their high draft pick. Hopefully, for 2 scoops of brown, that time comes soon. He moves to 1-4, though, in 12th place. Let's see if 2 scoops of brown, they've been plagued with injuries. almost squeezing out a win here against the top team. A tough week. Let's see what they do next week. All right, next up we have Johnny V-Bucks going up against Sequanda Forever. A couple of top-ranked squads going into this one, and an absolute barn burner. 152 to 134. High-scoring affair. Hope you bet the over in this game, folks. Nonetheless, Sequanda Forever winning this one, moving to 2-3, taking home the $50 prize as the top dog of the week. On the back of Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Waddle, Saquon Barkley, Karen Williams. Just a fountain of points. On the other side of the ball, you have Jamar Chase, that number 1 overall pick in the draft, waking up 2 receiving touchdowns, 110 yards on 6 receptions, 30 points for him. We'll see if he can continue that momentum. George Pickett's falling back down to earth a little bit, but you see Johnny V-Bucks could have one of the strongest receiving cores in the league at the moment. Even Mason Taylor down in the Jets country, 17 points for him, and Debo. So, strong receiving core. Johnny V-Bucks losing this one, and he's got a tough matchup against 50 Shades of May next week, who are absolutely rolling. So let's see if Johnny V-Bucks can prove he's got some stuff as a rookie going up against a 2-time champion and a legend. Alright, folks, and next up we have what was being dubbed by some critics as the Toilet Bowl, and I hope you bet the under on this one with the Beef Belt Boyos going up against Full Tank Michael. Nonetheless, 2 former champions in the league, but both severe underperformers in this one. The Beef Belt Boyos, however, winning this one, they grinded it out 82 to 62.8 points out of Chef Michael. Just disappointment all over the roster. Starting Jaden Blue in that spot start had to do what you had to do at this time. Jameson Williams, another underperformer. Brenton Strange. The other side of the ball, the Beef Belt Boyos head coach Steve Carr very bullish on Darius Slayton, who he leaves this game early with injury. Woody Marks, a monster performance last week with only 24 yards total out of him. So the Beef Belt Boyos do record their first win of the season. Now Chef Michael slides to 0-5. Let's see if the defending champion can find some sort of magic like he found last season and get things back on track. Alright, and for the last matchup we'll cover, we have Are You Worthy of Lamarcus Laporta going up against Don't Puka the Bear, the man who will probably be his first and only season in this league. Starting another player on a bye week. Oh, not a bye week, just didn't play, excuse me. Just 0 points. So never mind, Nev, you get a pass on that one. My mistake. Losing this one, mind you, 105 to 128.64. Tough to have a goose egg in your lineup. Now for Are You Worthy? Picking up Carson Wentz with a Lamar Jackson going down for that injury. Carson Wentz football, 15 points, serviceable, where he needed to be. Nico Collins with 16 points. You're getting 31 points out of the rookie sensation and Mika Ubeka. So, solid performance out of Are You Worthy and Chef Jordy. Moving to Georgie. Georgie, I'm just getting a message from producer. His name is Georgie. He moves to 3-2. Now, Don't Puka the Bear also moving to 3-2. Both in 7th and 8th, respectively. Middle of the pack, right out of the playoff picture. Let's see if these teams can make some crucial adjustments this point in the season. We're getting almost to that point where the steak belt is starting to sizzle and brown. So we'll see. This part of the season is when the legends are separated from the losers. Alright, we'd like to thank you all once again for tuning in to this edition of Trainwreck Tuesday. I am your host, definitely not Lucas Bancroft, live from New York City. Back with you once again. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Football and Duncan's Kahlua Caramel Swirl. 9 out of 10 doctors say that drinking before 10 a.m. does not mean you're an alcoholic. It just means that you are a pirate. So on that note, Gearg mateys, I am your host, definitely not Lucas Bancroft, signing out.